So we got an update on the Jon Jones Tom Aspinall fight. Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall in agreement that they want Payday to fight each other, and they absolutely deserve it. We all know that Jon Jones has to be top three negotiators in UFC history. Obviously, you probably put Conor number one, but as far as getting what you're worth, Jon Jones has done it better than anybody else. You can say what you want about his inactivity, his negotiation is what allows him to take that kind of time off. But we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about this fight, the money, whether or not this fight will happen, it will. And when it will happen, most likely International Fight Week. But before we do, if you like the content, subscribe. Guys have been killing it lately. We passed 700 subs. And yeah, all I can say is thank you guys. Now, we're going to read this article as usual. Then I'm going to give you my opinion and my prediction for this fight. Tom Aspinall unexpectedly agrees with Jon Jones in surprising opinion on guaranteed fight. The uncertainty of the of the unifications of the UFC heavyweight titles finally seems like quite enough. Since last year, interim champion Tom Aspinall has been targeting a showdown with Jon Jones, the reigning champion, to settle the score. However, Jon Jones has been reluctant to entertain the idea of facing the Englishman. Everyone expected Bones to retire. If you knew Jon Jones, you knew he wasn't going to retire. After defending his belt against Stipe Miocic in November, but he didn't, so that leaves fans and the fight world speculating. We we want will we finally get this right? The good news for fans is that the fight between the pair is now inevitable, as declared by UFC CEO Dana White. After many claims, Jones is ducking Aspinall. However, in what seems like a U-turn, the 30-year-old Englishman now feels Bones did the right thing. Let us find out what he said about it. Well, Jon Jones has been avoiding a matchup with the UK-based Tom Aspinall since winning the heavyweight title. As untrue, it's since he won the interim title. Aspinall, that is, to the point where Aspinall has defended his interim title. Absurd, right? Bones even walked out of a TNT Sports interview during the UFC 309 fight week, like fitting the question about when he would face Aspinall to unify the titles. However, Honey Badger feels the champion is handling the situation correctly and has made the right decision. In a recent interview with Piers Morgan, Aspinall pointed out how the risk factor for Jones is higher if he takes on the interim champ. Is Jones truly and Saber? He said, I don't think he is a snowflake now. He is trying to get more money. I don't think he's ducking me. He's trying to get more money. Honey Badger also pointed out that the risk factor in this fight is far higher for Jones than the interim champion. All these factors are forcing the 37-year-old to rethink his decision to fight him. According to the Brit Aspinall, you know what? I agree. I agree. I actually agree with a lot of what John says. When you put the resumes next to each other, his resume is far superior to mine. The risk reward for both of us, uh, 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 the risk reward for both of us, his risk is here. Tom Aspinall has never fought past the second round in his 18-fight MMA career, securing victories in all but uh, 15 bouts within the first round. Okay. The only exception came when he tore his ACL just 15 seconds into a fight with Curtis Blades, who he eventually KO'd in the rematch. Now known for his finishing ability, Aspinall has earned a reputation as one of the most dangerous fighters in the division. The, the hard-hitting Brit is currently waiting for his opportunity to fight Jones next in his career, while he is failing to get a response from the undisputed champion. Aspinall is also trying tactics of trying to get under the skin of the champion. For many, Jon Jones is the greatest MMA fighter of all time, without a doubt. However, Aspinall doesn't quite agree with it. He shared his feelings while speaking to Morgan on his show, Piers Morgan that is. Tom Aspinall points out the biggest reason for him not considering Jones the best. The debate over Jon Jones' status as the greatest MMA fighter continues, especially after his victory over Stipe Miocic last month. In the midst of this, interim heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall has once again weighed in, expressing his disagreement with the notion of Jones being the best. Aspinall points out Jones' past PED failures as a major factor that makes it difficult for him to accept that accolade for the UFC heavyweight champion. Jon Jones' history was not just performance enhancing, but recreational substance. It's well known among MMA fans, yeah. From being from being caught using estrogen blockers to testing positive for anabolic steroid Turinabol, Aspinall views such actions as clear cheating. During his most high-profile interview to date, the Manchester native made it clear what he believes qualifies someone as the best MMA fighter ever. Oh my god, dude. When the Piers Morgan asked him if he thought Jones was the best fighter ever, Aspinall replied, potentially the greatest ever. But the way I look at it, he has failed a couple of drug tests. To me, that rules you out of being the best of all time, for me, personally. If you're on PEDs and your opponent isn't, that's absolutely cheating. Although Tom Aspinall has highlighted Jon Jones' issues of failed drug tests, he emphasizes that he holds no personal grudge against him, the reigning champion. He only wants to take the belt, which according to him belongs to him. Regardless of Aspinall's stance, the question remains, do you agree with the Manchester native? How highly do you rate Jon Jones as a fighter? Let us know your thoughts and everything, whatever. You can do that after this video is done on this video. But let's talk about this for a bit. Now, I'm pretty sure that anybody who knows the fighting knew that Jon Jones was sticking around after Stipe. Like, he was not gonna leave knowing that people would constantly say Aspinall was better than him. And like I pointed out, my video was about this fight. It's not like Jon Jones needs to go through the heavyweight division, even though he can if he wants to. Beating Tom Aspinall means he cleared out heavyweight. Aspinall is the one that cleared out heavyweight. We all know the saying, you go in the cage and you either take what your opponent has or your opponent takes what you have, right? You know, Jon Jones won the belt against Silicon, who lost to Volkov. I will not say he won that fight ever in my life. He did not win that fight. But, like, I feel like Tom Aspinall, being on the side of Jon Jones, he realizes that he he deserves at least a few million. Like, if I was Tom Aspinall, I'd be asking for 5 mil, straight up. He is the interim champion. He should get pay-per-view points on this. Um, well, yeah, it's a championship fight. But I also think, win or lose, both of these guys need to look at the bottom line. And the bottom line in the fight business is the business, the money. Now, Dana White has said multiple times Tom Aspinall is next to Jon Jones, and he seems to be pretty steadfast on Tom Aspinall being next. The fans want it, the company wants it, Tom wants it, and I feel secretly Jon Jones wants it. Now, I would get into my breakdown, obviously, closer to this fight, and you guys know my prediction. I feel like we will see this fight in a National Fight Week. Then we will have Pereira versus Uncle Live, which, again, I need to rant about this. Uncle Live is not a wrestler, people. He's a really good striker. He is a clear number one contender. He is not a wrestler. And, you know, Dico definitely underrated Pereira training with Glover Teixeira. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is Tom versus Jones. Joke there. But, like, both, I feel like Jon Jones will probably be making 15 to 20 million on this fight. That sounds absurd, but that's around what Jon Jones is worth from what I've seen. I'm like, I still think Jon Jones and his ego, he wants to get that title defense record at heavyweight. He can easily do it. Like, he beat Stipe, and had he not been injured, we would have had Tom Aspinall fight Jon Jones by now. Yeah, we need to talk about this. The strike core is tech, right off the road. That's a tough amount, and even though that Stipe fight happened years too late, I do commend him for sticking to his contract and his word, guaranteeing Stipe his fight. The same way that Conor McGregor says he will do with Michael Chandler. Like, as a competitor, as a man, I respect that. But like I said, Dana White's insane. This is the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. It is one of them. I genuinely think the biggest heavyweight fight of all time, though, would be, no disrespect to Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones. I feel like Pereira and Francis would be the biggest fight. Like, the storyline, you could do Netflix documentaries around this fight for each fighter. But, like, you know, Tom Aspinall, more so than Jon Jones, needs to negotiate right. He needs to guarantee himself enough money, and I do commend him for agreeing with Jon Jones. Again, like, I want to state this too. I'm a fan of Tom Aspinall too. I really like him. I watch his YouTube channel. He's a really stand-up dude. Funny enough, my mom actually watched the Piers Morgan interview with him. I didn't even send it to her, which is fucking hilarious. And that's actually what we just read from. But, like, I feel like Tom Aspinall, well, I just dropped off a bit with that one. Tom Aspinall could be a a name that the casuals get behind. He definitely has the style to do it. He's one of the fastest heavyweights we've ever seen, and that's what makes this fight so interesting. I don't think Jon Jones should be able to do his thing where he runs away from Arsenal. I feel like Arsenal would do a good job tracking him down. The area where I feel Jon Jones will have the advantage, no disrespect to Aspinall's jiu-jitsu and wrestling, is the wrestling. Again, Jon Jones went toe-to-toe with DC. You can say what you want about steroid use. He out-wrestled Daniel Cormier. That is unheard of. Nobody else has ever done that apart from, fuck, what was his name? The guy that beat him in the finals in the Olympics. You guys probably know in the comments down below. You can write that down. But, like I said, my prediction has always been Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall International Fight Week. And then I feel like a winner or potentially if Aspinall wins, it's Jones or Aspinall against Pereira at MSG. I feel like Pereira gets through Uncle Ive a lot quicker than people think. Don't get me wrong, I think Uncle Ive is his toughest test. But he's not like this fucking grappling guru. Well, like, he has a 30% takedown average. Like, you get that? There are strikers with better takedown averages than that. But I'm just shitting on Uncle Ive for no reason, even though he's a boring fighter. Well, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about Tom Aspinall calling for the money fight, agreeing with Jon Jones that he also wants to get that bank? And when do you think we'll see this fight? Do you agree with me that International Fight Week? Or do you think it will be at MSG or some other date? Maybe Abu Dhabi. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, later. I got a video on the Jay-Z accusers that I'm doing right after, so stay tuned for that.